The following is a production of Learfield Sports.
From an international flair of women's hoops to the Canadian All-Star on the ice, we're going worldwide in this week's UMass Sports Insider. And with the spring sports season getting underway, we touch all the bases with a look back at a terrific campaign for the softball team as the Minute Women look to repeat as one of the top programs in the A10. Plus, we go behind the scenes of football signing day for all the sights and sounds with Coach Bell. So get all your friends together and grab some pizzas. The UMass Sports Insider starts now. Hi folks, welcome into this edition of UMass Sports Insider. My name is Josh Maurer. It's great to be with you today here inside the Mullen Center, where we start the show by talking about Tori Verdi and the Minute Women basketball team. It's time to take a look at some of their international flavor that has helped them be very successful on the court this year. For both Anil Soisel and Genesis Rivera, basketball has taken them literally all over the world and helped them develop a very special bond.
My name is Genesis Rivera and I'm from Venezuela.
Hi, my name is Anil Soisel and I'm from Turkey.
I think we both kind of like have the same experiences coming here, not knowing any English. I remember me asking my teammates and people that I barely know, how do you say this word? How do you pronounce this word? Because I already know the meaning, but I don't know how to pronounce it. It was like a learning experience for me, of course. The communication part is really important to let people around you know that you're not understanding something, communicate with your coaches. For me, what you want to talk?
Okay.
For me, I just think that kind of like hang around everyone, not just a group of people. Because I mean, if you guys know me, I'm pretty much like with Bree all the time. I think it's important to like hang around the other teammates and get to know them, get to know how they talk, how they grow up, so you can like pick up some like unfamiliar stuff.
I agree to you, but I was so shy when I came here for the first time. I wasn't talking too much, like Henny, actually. But like, yeah, if you start living here, you just learn it. Actually, you don't try to learn something new, but like when you hear something new from someone, you just learn it like normally.
Yeah, you have done it well. I would say that you're...
I'm still not perfect, but I'm trying.
way better than me the first year. After the first year, I still was... Nah. I play a lot of things, and those who know me knows that I can play from baseball to soccer, American football now because we don't have that back home, but for one of my birthday, I asked my mom to give me a ball, whatever. I was expecting a soccer ball. My mom came home with this basketball, kind of like the one they use for the All-Star game. So I was just dribbling back in our home.
I started playing basketball because I didn't have so much friends because I'm so tall. And I was just playing for fun and like get like some friends. But like, as I started to play more and more, I like loved basketball. And like, I didn't play 2 years. Then, like, I started to play in Mullen Center. That was like great. That felt like, I can't explain. Just you need to feel it. Like, I was nervous a little bit actually. But like when I started to play, it was so much fun for me.
Every time I step on the court, whether I am in the not only Mullins Center, because I know already the Mullins is a special place to me. It will be always. But it's like every time I step on the court, every away game, my first impression is just wow, literally. I just be in my mind like wow, like where I'm coming from, this was not in the plans. This was not part of what I'm supposed to be and where I'm supposed to be at, and I'm here, you know. First time my visit, I remember I was just like, wow, I just like literally just had a picture shooting with a UMass uniform on, and I might be committing to that school. And I remember you came to that. Me and you had this same visit, same time. It was really fun. And yeah, and then knowing that both of us were coming to the same school, and playing together. It was like, wow, I cannot wait to like playing to get to know her more. And you know, here we are.
My family is so far right now, and like here is my family, my teammates, and my coaches. Like they always supporting me. They always give love to me, and I don't feel so far from my family because they're my family.
That international flavor for the UMass women's basketball program will continue this August as they embark on an 8-day trip to Portugal, which gives Coach Verdi one more opportunity for his players to appreciate the worldwide reach of the sport. Hey, let's stay with that team and move to a recent great day here at the Mullins Center when over 100 young children participated in a clinic with the Minutewomen for National Women in Sports Day. Let's take a look back to show how the UMass players helped the children appreciate the fun and values that come with the sport.
We're here at the John F. Kennedy Champion Center, and it was a great cause. Having the opportunity to touch a life and seeing all these kids and tell them that, you know what, they matter. You know, each of their lives matter, and telling them that they could accomplish anything that they want to, and never allow somebody to tell you that you can't do something. So my message was simply, go out there, and regardless of what you do, give it everything that you got, and then never let anyone tell you that you can't accomplish any of those goals.
We decided to do something, for all the children, just being there for them and, try to give them a little motivation today, Like Coach Verdi said earlier, don't let anyone tell them that, they can't do anything. As long as you put your mind to do something, you can do it. And, that's a really positive message that we just want to send out to the kids today.
Having them here supporting us, just getting them here to see our program, seeing our players, work extremely hard, and then obviously getting the opportunity to work with them and showing exactly who we are, not only as people, but as coaches, as players. And it's a great day. Our players did a great job working with them and teaching them and putting a smile on their faces.
For us to be able to come together and do this for all the children today, it made everything better. At the defensive drill stations, talked a lot about staying low, keep your hands out on defense, talking, closeouts, the little things.
Our players did a great job of assisting and teaching some basic fundamentals of the game. We saw a lot of passing, we saw a lot of dribbling, some shooting going on, and some games going on as well. But just teaching some basic fundamentals of the game.
It was a really good feeling. I didn't expect it, so it caught me off guard. But like I said, they just look up to us, and they're really happy to see us. So we just kind of try to keep the smiles on their face as much as possible. It was really great to see all of the local teams come out, especially the young ones. They look up to us as role models, as fans, and I've heard a lot of the kids come up to me, I'm such a big fan of you, and it's just a really great feeling to feel like as a player. And I just remember myself being that age, looking up to people, and it's just something that just makes you reminisce. It's like, wow, like I'm doing something really good for these kids, and just want to keep it going.
Thanks so much to Coach Verdi and his team for all the great work with the youngsters in our community. Now keep an eye on them. They're in the final couple of weeks of their regular season and trying to make a push up the A-10 standings approaching the conference tournament. Well, it's time for us to take our first break here on UMass Sports Insider. Stay close. When we come back, we'll sit with one of the best players in UMass hockey history and a huge reason for the Minutemen's amazing 2018-19 campaign. Don't change that channel. We'll be right back.
The best of Las Vegas is coming to the heart of New England. This is a first.
The Learfield Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or at L Directors Cup on Twitter or Facebook. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
Welcome back to UMass Sports Insider, here from the UMass hockey practice rink, where Cale Makar has been helping lead the hockey team to new heights this year and has quickly become one of the best players in program history. Cale is one of the finalists for the Hobie Baker Award, which goes annually to the best men's player in Division I hockey. And as he's about to tell you, his time here in Amherst is helping him prepare for what we think will be a great NHL career.
Cale Makar is there. Does this become an easy pick?
Easy decision here. Cale Makar, offensive defenseman at number 4 to Colorado. Easy call.
Colorado Avalanche are proud to select from Brooks, the Alberta Junior Hockey League, Cale Makar.
Kind of the thing that I tell people is that it really doesn't matter what you've done before anymore. I mean, you're selected, and regardless of where you're selected, the only thing that matters is what you do after, and that's how you're going to make yourself, and that's how you're going to make a name for yourself. So that's kind of what I've taken to heart, and I was very fortunate that second selected me at 4th, and it was just a very humbling thing, but I think at the end of the day, it's all about what you do after and kind of focus on that.
A lot of comparisons to Erik Karlsson. In one way or another, you're getting a godlike comparison.
He's everything that you'd want in a hockey player and a teammate and a son. He's a really tremendous kid. He's driven, he's respectful, he's coachable, he's enjoyable, and he's just a real talent on the ice.
Probably got on skates when I was around 2 years old. I know I had a hockey stick in my hands when I was on the beach of Hawaii with my parents when I was like 1 or 2. There's a couple cool pictures of that, but no, it definitely runs in the blood of my family, and I'm very fortunate that I'm able to play sport like this.
And now here's Gaudette with a wraparound. Makar comes in and he scores.
Just growing up, I definitely leaned a lot on my dad just in terms of his support, and I think he helped me a lot in terms of the mental side of the game. And in terms of hockey, I think I go back to just watching the Calgary Flames and kind of watching Jerome McGinley. He was a big role model for me growing up, even though he's a forward, and just to see the way that he carried himself outside of the rink, especially just in the community, was something that I'll always take away with me. And
he's pretty undersized when he committed. I think he was like 5'8", pretty short. But he had a growth spurt, and I flew out in September of our first season, and he came on the ice for warm-ups, and I was blown away just watching the way he skated, handled the puck, shot the puck. And I called my 2 assistants and I said, we have Erik Karlsson coming to our team.
Really never wavered in my mind in just terms of having that goal to be a professional hockey player, and I think that's why I've been able to just achieve what I have, just being able to kind of focus on the little things, but at the same time not focus on too many other things in terms of what my main goal is.
I sat down with him and I said, I think it's best that we have a 2-year window to work with, because we don't know how this year is going to go. I don't want you to be let down if Colorado doesn't think you're ready. We looked at Charlie McAvoy at BU, who played 2 years there, and by the end of his second year he slid right into Boston, played in the playoffs, and was a very effective player. So for his development, that was the kind of the timeline that we set.
I think for young players, they just need to weigh out both options. I think for me, I look at it as I got a lot of knowledge on college hockey, and like I said, I was a smaller guy at the time, and I felt that for me, I needed a little bit of that longer development path and more getting in the weight room. So it's definitely a balance of a lot of different things, but I feel that I picked the right way for myself, and I think for a lot of guys coming, I think it could be a very beneficial way as well.
I felt not pressure, but a responsibility to make him a better hockey player. And I felt like if I could do that, then whenever he left here, I just hoped that when he left, he thought that this was a great step in his development, that he learned a lot, that he enjoyed playing here, that he enjoyed our culture, but just like any other kid in our program. But having the profile that he has, Just wanted to make this as close to perfect experience for him as possible.
The Minutemen recently established an all-time program record for victories in a season and currently sit atop the Hockey East standings. And with Cale Makar leading the way, UMass is in a great position to make a deep run into the postseason this year. Well, we're going to take a quick break here on the program. When we come back, we go behind the scenes with National Signing Day and Walt Bell, the new football head coach. Plus, we look back at the 2018 softball campaign. See you on the other side.
In the Atlantic 10, she can compete. She can win. She can lead. And she can succeed. In the Atlantic 10, she can do it all.
I think he made 60 saves against Boston College.
Maine winning in overtime, triple OT against UMass.
I'll always remember Kevin Waugh picking up the Hockey East trophy and hoisting it.
Who will make history this year at the 35th Hockey East Championship? Get your tickets at the TD Garden box office or Ticketmaster.com.
That weekend here in March, playing down here at the Garden, those games are always a fan's dream.
On this stage, under these bright lights, the Atlantic 10 Men's Basketball Championship returns. 14 teams, 1 trophy.
Welcome back to The Insider, now inside the beautiful weight room at the Martin Jacobson Football Performance Center. Hey, last spring, UMass softball became the first Atlantic 10 team to go undefeated in the regular season since 2002, but unfortunately, the Minutewomen fell in the tournament championship game. As they look to get that one step further this year, let's take a look back at the success of 2018 that the Minutewomen will be trying to build upon this year.
My first year of college experience was unbelievable. It was probably one of the best times of my life. During preseason, for me personally, it was a slow start, getting a few pinch hits. Then I just had this one magic moment where everything clicked. For the team, it was just absolutely incredible. We had such an amazing run. Going 21-0 in conference is unheard of. The last time anyone did it was UMass in 2012. And even though we came short of our goal, I think it lights a fire inside of us for this year to try and reach our true goal, which is an A10 championship.
Last season, I thought had very, very many highs. A lot of good stuff that we could kind of look back on for this season to help motivate us, bring up our confidence a little bit. But I thought it was really good for the program in general, just to kind of get back in the spotlight, have people talk about us again, get a little pride back in maybe some of our alums and our current players. You know, a lot to be proud of from last season, not just going 21-0 in conference, but picking up some pretty big wins in the beginning of the season, playing really well against regional opponents, which is always great. Also, a lot of great awards that I thought a lot of people picked up. It was awesome. I think it's something that we can all look back on and say, all right, I think we're hungry for more.
It's like lighting a fire under our bellies. We know we're so close. We know that we want it. We know it's ours and it's ours to take. We just really need to work together as a team and be resilient. That's one of our big words this year, is just to be resilient in the face of adversity. And once we get into conference, we just need to take it one game at a time.
When I was picking the tournaments and picking the teams that we were going to play, I kind of saw the bigger picture of what our end goal was, what was going to give us the best opportunity to get there and then perform well when we were to get there. I picked the best teams that I possibly possibly could in the beginning of the year that could test us early on and give us a really great challenge. So, you know, my outlook is hopefully we do well in these first couple of tournaments against some really great teams, and it carries us into the conference. It just puts things in perspective for us.
I'm so excited to get back into conference. We're playing a bunch of awesome tournaments which will prepare us, but once conference starts, it's like nothing else. You're playing the teams that we know well, and we're gonna be at home for A10 championship tournament. It's gonna be incredible having that home field advantage and having our fans. It's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited.
When they first heard that we were going to be hosting the conference tournament, they were really, really excited. There's nothing like playing home, and I think that they right now have a hunger for what their big goal is, and to be able to hopefully accomplish that at home in front of our home crowd on our own field. I think they're really relishing in that. I think it's something that can be really comfortable for them. It can help their confidence, but I know when it was announced, they were pretty psyched about it. So, you know, my general outlook is pretty good, but we'll see.
And we wish best of luck to Coach Stefanoni and her team as they're getting their season underway here in February down in some much warmer climates. They are certainly, again, one of the favorites in the A10 conference. Time to switch now from the diamond to the gridiron, where earlier this month, new head coach Walt Bell finished putting together his first class with the Minutemen football team. Let's take you behind the scenes now to see all the work that Coach Bell and his staff put in for National Signing Day.
Walt really had it in the right perspective when we interviewed him about making sure that this class, we took the right young men into our program, because year 3 and 4, that's your culture. You're setting a culture with those individuals. And so I think he and his staff have been really selective, and this is going to set us up ultimately for success for the future.
A foundational class. You know, a group of kids that when we look up 3 and 4 years from now, you know, that's going to be the leadership of our football team. And so for me, we signed a bunch of smart, tough, resilient, overachievers, you know, people that fit us, you know, and who we want to ultimately be someday. It was really critical to me that I bring in, and when I say like-minded, I don't mean think like me or anything else, but just in terms of what their vision of this profession is, you know, and that's people that are about the kids, you know, people that are going to tell the truth, people that are going to invest in their kids, whether or not they can help them, you know, no matter how good they are. I mean, just people that love kids, you know, and people that are in this for the right reason.
You know, I think we're excited. We know the ability for this program, the ability that this program has to be, you know, not only instill pride in this Commonwealth, but across this region, and to do what we've known as a pro sports market, a lot of winning. And we feel like we can do that here, and we're excited about what's next.
We're proud to build a program that represents you guys, you know, and that's what we want to do more than anything else, is make sure that we put a product out there that makes you proud and gives you something to want to be invested in, you know, on a day-to-day basis.
And a really cool behind-the-scenes look. Well, Coach Bell and his team will be back in action on the gridiron before we know it, as spring ball is right around the corner. Time for one final break here on the Insider Show. Don't go away. When we come back, you'll want to see what happens when UMass hockey combines Mad Libs with dad jokes. See you on the other side.
This is the place where planets collide, where Pulitzer and Fulbright are full-time residents, where 28,000 brilliant young minds from 65 countries call home. This is the place that propels the state and lifts the world. UMass Amherst, this is the place.
Welcome back to the finish of UMass Sports Insider. As you could tell before the break, this one's got me interested. We all love Mad Libs and we all love dad jokes. So a couple of UMass hockey players wanted to put those two together. The results are coming up and, well, you'll just have to see for yourself what it looks like on this week's edition of The Lighter Side.
What's going on? We're here for Mad Libs UMass edition, and I'm joined by my roommates,
Mario Ferraro.
And I'm John Leonard. And I'm Marco Bazzo, your host for tonight's show. What's going to happen is they're going to put water in their mouths, and I'm going to tell some pretty funny dad jokes here, and they're going to try to keep them water in their mouth, and first one to spit it out is going to lose. This is Mad Libs UMass edition. Water in mouth. Let's go, fellas. Start her up. Get a good amount in there. Is yours in? Okay. Okay. Joke number 1. Did you hear about the light bulb party? It was kind of lit. What do you call a man with no body and no nose? Nobody really knows. Hey guys, I got a joke for you. What does an annoying pepper do? He gets jalapeno face. You still got it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. What do you call cheese that isn't yours? Nacho cheese! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching tonight's episode of Mad Libs UMass Edition. The winner of first annual you put your hand up? No, it's Mario Ferraro. Thank you for watching episode number 1. We'll see you next week at episode number 2 for UMass Mad Libs.
All right, so maybe it's not just the hockey ability, maybe it's their comedic skills that has been driving UMass towards the top of the national polls all season long on the ice. We thank the guys for participating on this week's edition of The Lighter Side. And that's going to do it for another episode of UMass Sports Insider. I'm Josh Maurer. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you right back here next time. Have a great rest of your week.